So I'm going to look at the use of the Selective Colour Adjustment layer in Photoshop. Now to find that, you go down to the Adjustment layer panel, and the bottom one is Selective Colour. This brings up a new panel which has sliders and adjustment sliders in cyan, magenta, yellow and black. And you can use these to enhance or subtract colour from your image, and you can adjust the different sliders to find out what kind of effect it has on your image, and you can play around with these until you reach an effect that you like. But there's another way of using it, and it's simply to boost all the colours throughout the spectrum, which, using this Selective Colour Adjustment layer, produces quite a natural effect. And I think it's possibly a bit more natural than using saturation or vibrance. So I'm just going to reset these back to 0. And then the drop downs from the top of the colours start with the red at the very top. Now, Selective Colour Adjustment layer works in CMYK. So if you want to add a lot of red, you have to think that the opposite of cyan, magenta and yellow is RGB, or red, green and blue. So the opposite of cyan is red, the opposite of magenta is green, and the opposite of yellow is blue. So if I want to pump up the reds in this picture, all I need to do is dial the cyans right down to 0. Okay, so go to the next one, which is yellow. Now, I have yellow on here, so all I need to do is turn yellow right up to 100%. Go to the next one, which is green. Now, I don't have green on here, but the opposite of green is magenta. So if I turn magenta down to 0, that boosts green. And the next one is cyan. So I have cyan on here, so I can turn cyan right up to plus 100. The next one is blue. I don't have blue on here, but I can turn yellow, which is the opposite of blue, down to minus 100. And the final colour on here is magenta. And I do have magenta on here, so I can boost magenta up to 100% plus. Okay, so you can see that that has now really sort of increased the colour saturation of this image, but in quite a natural way. And if you don't like the amount that you have, you can always go to the opacity control on your layers panel and just turn that down. So you can adjust how much of the Selective Colour Adjustment layer is actually working. If you feel it's not enough added colour, you can select the adjustment layer and you can copy that by going Command or Control J, and you get an extra copy layer on top of that one, which obviously boosts the colour even more. And if you think that's too much on that one, you can turn down that one on the opacity slider until you reach the desired colour boost. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this added layer again, because I think that's probably a bit too much for this image. You don't have to do this for every picture. If you like this effect, all you need to do is, up on your panel of colours, on your Selective Colour panel, if you go up to the top right hand corner, there's a little square of lines. If you click on that and click on Save Selective Colour Preset, then you have an option to call it something. So I'm just going to call it New Colour and save that anyway you like. Click Save, And now I have a preset called New Color. So if I go to a different image, say I open this second one on my tabs, all I have to do is go down here, click on my adjustment layers again, choose Selective Color, and instead of using the preset which is default, which is basically nothing, and it's just allowing you to alter the colors as you want, just click on default and go to New Color, and it adds that preset in without you having to do all the sliders. So it's like a one-click approach to adding extra color boost. So basically, it's a very simple task. All you need to do is open your image, open your adjustment layers, choose Selective Color, play around with the sliders until you have a desired effect, or choose all the colors in turn and boost all the colors by either boosting the actual color up to 100% or decreasing the opposite color to minus 100%. Do that for all 6 colors and then save a preset, call it something appropriate, and that'll be there for the next time you want to do this to a different image.